Good morning,
and it
friends.
says, "Good morning, people. How are you?" I'm not showing up over here yet. I don't know what that's about, but let's see.
It takes a second.
It takes some time for Facebook. Facebook's been doing some weird stuff this morning.
I
There it is.
often have to refresh it.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. So,
Putting up a
thank
line.
you for being here whenever you're here because we are late.
Yes. Yes, we're late. We're really late. I'm in Houston, so I got my time off. I slept in, and so I was like, "Oh, 7 o'clock." Yeah, it's 2 hour difference. So uh, working is wonderful. I've been in a class. I want to talk to you guys about something. I was in a class all weekend, and the class was ABC Advanced Body uh, class, and it's an energy class about. I don't want to say healing, but facilitating and orchestrating change in the body. And I had a pleasure working with this one sister all weekend. And this is a class of few words, mostly just energy. You're touching the body. It's a hands-on class, and it's if you go 8 hours a day, I guess that's 24 hours of playing with bodies. And what is happening is that the energy in the room, people are putting hands on their other bodies. And when you're together, it creates this magic of people releasing things. Now, when I say magic and releasing, it doesn't always mean that it's going to be comfortable. It means that just more change is coming in. Tori was there. She said, so much change. Yeah, so much fucking change. It's ridiculous. It's just crazy how much change. And I realized at the end of, I was sad yesterday around 5:30, but I also was a bit relieved because it's like how much more of this intensity can the body take? And then I started thinking about, and then we walked into the mall because it's at the Galleria. We walked into the mall, and I could feel just to go out to get a Uber or a
Hmm.
Lyft actually, and I can feel the intensity of people avoiding their bodies. They're getting wrapped up in so much different things. There was a lady there, and I mean, I don't want to pick on people who like to do injections to make themselves have lips, but her lips was big as my head, and her body is like I don't was like you know, and I guess this is awareness for me. How much mangleness do we do of the body
Hmm.
because we're avoiding something with recognizing the beauty of the body?
Yo, I'm about to call some people all the way out, but I believe that the modern practice of tattoos and piercings is just socially acceptable cutting. If every time something bad happens in your life, you need a new tattoo,
Hmm.
you might want to look at that.
Yeah, and I think I think that so here's the piece about because I got a bunch of tattoos. I don't get it for like they've never been something bad, and I guess I want to say that too. I'm not judging a person that if you want to inject and have greater lips, but it looks like this person continuously. It's like her lips are about to pop. She has so much injection juice in there. It was like I wanted to go up there and like pop a pimple on her lip, but I was afraid that the mall would explode because her lips are just like boom. So I was like, what the hell is that? What I'm saying too is during this time, where do we avoid our bodies, even to the point that when we get ill, what haven't we been paying attention to that our body's been yelling at us? Our body's been yelling at us, and it gets your attention when you get to be sick. And I'm included with that. Lila's pointing at herself, and I'm pointing at me too, because like last night, I did some crazy ass shit. I just finished body class, and this is how crazy I can be. So we went out to dinner, uh, and I came back to our Airbnb and I ate some shit that I shouldn't. I was done. but I ate because I was up still and my belly's bothering me. And I was like, okay, I can roll with that today. I'm about to change that energy, but my body's calling on me to stop the avoidance with it, the avoidance. And I realized during this time of the year, we like, and not only this time of year, but this is like accented more. Like when I was in the mall, people are doing things that are, yes, fun, but there's such an avoidance of self. And then I can hear people saying, well, John, well, you're not supposed to pay attention to you because that's being selfish. But to cut yourself off and dangle yourself out in space without being connected to who you are, it's some I don't know how comfortable that shit is. You
Or
know,
how wise it is.
yeah. And here's the other piece, and I don't want to get perverted on there. It's gonna sound perverted, but just people know I go there sometimes, but I'm not. How often do you touch yourself? Now, let's get the masturbation part out of the way. Okay, that's one thing. I
That's
actually
also
like,
important.
yes, very important. It's not a bad thing. Uh, there I go. I was about to say, if you have the right tools and the right mechanism. No, I'm just kidding. Um, but it also that has to. I know that's crazy. People were like, "Oh, here he goes with this." But the other touch too is touching the body and just like putting your hands on your face, on your body. Uh, we have to include our body in everything in every question. Yeah, we have to. Our body is the mechanism that navigates through this thing called living. And it's just amazing on how I have in the past decided that I wasn't going to give credence to this thing called my body.
Mm,
Good morning, Donna. How you doing? T.
that's so interesting.
You know, we don't give credence to our body. And this is the other thing, we belittle the body so often. And I say this over and over again because everything in this reality has us look outside of our body to something else as if it's not a miraculous, whoa, she left me. So hopefully she'll come back. Um, uh, there she is. Okay. She the disappearing act. The disappearing act.
All the technological challenges. I'm back.
So yeah, I was saying the disappearing act. Like she did. How do we do that with our bodies? It was kind of amazing because I was about to say that. And how do we do that with avoiding our body and not allowing the magic of the body? Because just think of how magical the body is. You cut it, you abuse it, and it pops back. It gives you 80 years, 70 years. It can give you beyond that, but we have bought into such an aging program that we've forgotten that it can go beyond that. I mean, and that's why I really wanted to talk about because I just got out of this class. And so there's a body bliss about me and my body, even with my gut going brrr right now because I didn't pay attention to it. I ate things that I knew. And here's the piece, and this is the piece about I'm going to challenge somebody. This is something for me. Have you ever had something very good? Oh my God, I desire that. That's the greatest thing. And you kept going back to it to the point where your body said, I'm done with this. But you'd be like, no, I'm gonna override you. That could be a lover, that could be food, that could be going exercise. You know, what does it take for you to actually start to be magical with your body and engaging? I said to a group of fellows that I work with in Portland, what would it be like to spend 7 minutes religiously with your body? No prayer, no TV. This is a different form of engagement. I get this is a different form of prayer, I should say. But just being like an awareness, my body sitting on the chair, my feet, my shoes, the shirt on my body, the air on my skin, the gratitude of me breathing, my seeing, my hearing, whatever you want to be grateful for with the body. What would that look like? And why are we able to do that more often?
Why aren't we able to do
Yes,
that more often?
yes.
That's a really good question. Um, I was scrolling through TikTok yesterday,
Uh-huh.
and someone has asked a question on my little corner of TikTok, and it's, how do you not give up when you've lost all hope? And someone answered it yesterday with, look in the mirror, find one thing about your body that you like, and then just focus in on that thing.
Yes.
And over time, that will expand
Yeah.
out into the rest of your body, the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But I thought that that was spectacular wisdom
Yeah.
because I've been in that space of everything sucks, where's the exit hatch?
Yeah.
And I think for the last 2 years, especially work,
Mm-hmm.
having sustainable livelihood that I don't hate
Mm-hmm.
was the like silver lining.
Yeah.
Um, and from that you can extrapolate on other things. But with our bodies, we often focus in on the things we don't like, the
Mm-hmm.
things we would like to change.
And we focus on the judgment that other people project to us. It was kind of funny, Lila. You were cracked up. I was in a class. I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. I walked in, and I like my body, and I'm a chunky, groovy type of guy. And this one lady said something, but she's kind of a ding dong Christmas tree, I would say, whatever you want to call it. So she walked up to me and she projected on me. She's, oh my God, you look so, and but this gut, this belly. And I was like, you know, real talk, I probably would have said, bitch, please. Uh, but I realized it was a projection. This was a possibility for me to look at how people project at me and other people project. And not sometimes positive or negative. It can be either or. But the most important thing that I did with this is that I took control of the reins of my body in that scenario. I'm like, thank you. And I just walked away. And like I didn't have to go off on the person or, I was just like, but then at the end of the day, I was sharing where I was watching this individual stand in the room, so fucking disconnected. So what the person is doing is projecting. So how many people do you have around you projecting their bullshit to your body because they don't like their body
Yeah,
and they're so uncomfortable?
very valid.
How many of us are hiding our body because of what other people, I mean, what the projections that they pick up from other people? And if y'all do me a favor who see this or watching this now, maybe watch it later, stop that shit and tell them to fuck themselves.
Stop it.
You know, I'm just saying,
It's
I'm sorry I got emotional on that because what happens is I realize the 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 amount of projection and rejection that goes on with these miraculous bodies. And one person told me once before, and I took this to heart. For them, this is for me. Sometimes you have things wrapped around your body. The weight that you have is the insulation of the trauma and drama you've been dealing with. And so what happens is that you put this, like, how a live wire, they put a rubber insulation around it and they make it thicker and thicker so you don't harm yourself. Well, what is that fat around your body protecting the nervous system of the projections? And when you start to just simply let it go, I know people are like, oh, Johnny, you say this all the time. If you simply let it go, you'll watch. Because I've watched sometimes my body weight go up and down. And I'm like, wow, how much of have I been carrying of other people's stuff? And I'm in a space now that I'm letting everybody have their own shit.
amen.
Everybody can have their own fucking shit.
Amen.
You
It's
know.
my turn to turn into a pumpkin this week,
Okay.
friends.
Yes. Sorry about our delay. I have to go have lunch with a wonderful friend of mine, Gary Douglas. And
And I get to go teach future writing.
yes, and we'll see you guys Monday next week.
See you next week. Bye, friends.
Peace be y'all. Bye bye.